Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm John from HValley Tools, and today I want to talk to you about corner clamps. And in the store, we get asked a lot of times, hey, I need some corner clamps. And I go, what are you clamping? And they go, corners. And I'm like, I got that. But what are you clamping? And the reason why I ask these questions is we can go from quick and dirty, not so precise, to hyper precise in the clamps. So what we're going to talk about today are the different clamping options that you have, why you would or wouldn't use a corner clamp for certain things. So let's start with our quick and dirty clamps. So over here, we've got our quick corners. And these are cool. So when would you use these? Quick and dirty. I got to make 35 birdhouses fast for the jamboree. And the way these work is that you give it a good squeeze, you line up your corner, you give it a good squeeze, and your forearms are going to be big like Popeye when you use these. You give it a good squeeze, you got to fuss with it a little bit, boom, you're done. Okay, lined up, quick and dirty, let's go. Shoot, 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 screw, screw, done. Now you got a box. The next thing is, hey, I'm framing out some shelving, I'm building a shed, I'm doing something outside, bigger lumber, heavier duty, but I'm not really worried about precision, it's more durability. Well, these are the Miles Craft clamps. These are really nice. And what I like about them is that they're pretty darn solid. They're really square. They have notch corners. They do have pinholes in case you want to use C-clamps, kind of cool. But the whole idea here is that if you're framing up some 2x4s and you just got to get them square enough, longer pieces, heavier pieces, these are ideal. They're not very expensive, so if you break them or crack them, so what? You're not going to cry. You go get it some more. These are excellent clamps. We use them a lot here, and we sell a ton of them in the showroom. Now, we're going to get more precise. So now we have a thing called a 3D corner clamp. And why 3D? Well, the corner clamp itself actually clamps your X and Y, which is your corner, but also your Z. So your wood can't kind of slip out of the joint. Sometimes when you're clamping up, it's always scooting, especially if it's a miter. They just kind of want to scoot apart all the time, and you're screaming at them and throwing things at your stuff. So the way that these work is that you have a clamp that holds it here, but you also have a clamp here that keeps the wood together and square on all three axes. Really cool. These are nice to have. I use these a lot when I have stuff that's always kind of squiggly and I got to make sure it's square. They work excellent. But you need a lot of clamps. And now we're starting to get into our really delicate precision work. So now you're making a beautiful jewelry box or some kind of decorative box that you're using a fine wood, you don't want to dimple it, you don't want to do any damage. That's our precision squares from MLCS. These are badass. So what do I like about them? First off, they're lightweight. They're hyper square. I checked them so tight. The tolerances are really incredible. They're long, so we get a good angle in, and they have a lot of recesses for you to adjust where you put your clamping pins in. They are sold in pairs, so you can do your top and bottom or your thirds, and we'll talk about thirds later. But they also have beautiful squaring diffusers. What does this thing do? Well, first off, it keeps the wood square vertically as well as diffuse the clamping force. Sometimes when I clamp, I'm a gorilla, so I put dimples into my wood and I'm like, oh God, I gotta get out the iron and all that kind of stuff. These are fabulous. They are hyper precise, lightweight, well made, easy to use. They already have the clamps all with them and they just work super well. So when you're doing precision work, boy do I like these. Now, the most underrated clamp we have, it's called the Can-Do. This clamp's been around for a long time. It's one of my favorites. These are very well machined, super high quality, beautiful drive screw, self-adjusting, incredible casting. They have these reliefs on the side that make sure that the wood has, or your surface material has a good grip, it can't slip. And I have some examples here. So this is a T-joint. Really cool to do. And these are heavy enough that you can use them on some larger stock, no problem. The other thing is unusual sizes when you have to do something weird like this. Why you do this, I don't know, but let's say you have to do something weird like this. It self-adjusts to the thicknesses of the wood. It keeps it hyper square, and it's just got great force, and you don't get any dimpling. I do recommend you buy pairs though, only because if you are doing a rectangle, I recommend you glue up 2 corners at a time. By having 2, you keep your frame square at all times. And last but not least, and everyone should know about this fella, this is the Merle clamp. This is an incredible clamp. I started with this 25 years ago. I broke 3 of them. I still have 3 more. And the improvements over the years have been great. The removable pivot jaws, awesome. This works great. The metal band, a lot of people are like, oh, the metal band, but it gives it incredible strength and durability. Just remember that you have to shoot some lubricant inside the coil once in a while, wipe your band off. But the neat thing about this is the clamping force. When you're clamping with a strap clamp like this, you're usually in the middle here clamping, and it wants to bend it into a parallelogram. The Merle clamp doesn't do that. The Merle clamp pulls the entire rectangle into the corner. So it self-centers and squares itself. It's got incredible power. It's really a super clamp to have. I recommend you have 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them. I use them all the time. When I make up my cabinet, my base cabinets in the carcasses, I use these all the time because they make everything perfectly square. So if you have any questions about clamps or how do I use, what do I need, give us a call, stop in the showroom. We love to help our customers. And just wanted to give you a complete rundown of the different options of why would you buy one clamp versus the other. If you have any questions, please call us, stop in the showroom, and thanks for watching our videos and have a great day.